these are all poems about beer. And what you're going to find is that all of these poems that we're going to read aloud today are from different times of history, and that the human condition, we all go through the same things, right? Good things, bad things. We celebrate, we have trials and tribulations. And I thought, what better thing to go through life's trials and tribulations or festivities than with some beer. Let's celebrate beer over some poetry, shall we? All right, the first one we are going to do is called Beer by Charles Bukowski from Love is a Mad Dog from Hell, 1920 to 1994. So I'm not quite sure when it was written, but that's when this was done. I don't know how many bottles of beer I've consumed while waiting for things to get better. I don't know how much wine and whiskey and beer, mostly beer, I have consumed after splits with women, waiting for the phone to ring, waiting for the sound of footsteps and the phone to ring. Waiting for the sounds of footsteps and the phone never rings until much later, and the footsteps never arrive until much later. When my stomach is coming up out of my mouth, they arrive as fresh as spring flowers. What the hell have you done to yourself? It will be 3 days before you come back me. The female is durable. She lives 7½ years longer than the male, and she drinks very little beer because she knows it's bad for the figure. While we are going mad, they are out dancing and laughing with horny cowboys. Well, there's beer. Sacks and sacks of empty beer bottles. And when you pick one up, the bottle falls through the wet bottom of the paper sack. Rolling, clanking, spilling gray wet ash and stale beer. Or the sacks fall over at 4 a.m. in the morning, making the only sound in your life, beer. Rivers and seas of beer. The radio singing love songs as the phone remains silent and the walls stand straight up and down, and beer is all there is. Wow, let's give him a toast to that. So we've all been, through breakups, or, maybe we're dating somebody new and we're like, hey, this is great. And then they never call. And then we get depressed, or they break up with us, or we see them out with someone else and we get a little depressed. Well, who comes to the rescue but a nice malty beverage called beer? Let's celebrate. Okay, our next beer poem is called The Empty Bottle by William A. Toone, 1813 to 1865. So we're going back in time, right? Ah, liberty, how like thou art to this large bottle lying there, which yesterday from foreign mart came filled with potent English beer. A touch of steel, a hand, a gush, a pop that sounded far and near, a wild emotion, liquid rush. And I had drunk that English beer. And what remains? An empty shell, a lifeless form both sad and queer, a temple where no God doth dwell, the simple memory of beer. So yeah, once you're drinking one, you know what that sound is. When you put that last sip down, It's done. And you're like, do we drink anymore? Are we done? Are we going to a different place? What's going on here, right? But the good thing about today's age compared to the 1800s is there's always a refill. Cheers! The next poem is called Get Drunk by Charles Baudelaire, 1821 to 1867. Now, I have read this poem and I really enjoy this. Now, it's not, and you're going to hear this as we're reading this poem together, you're going to hear that it's not only about getting drunk with a beverage, and that's not really what it is about. It's about being drunk on life, getting as much of life as you can, no matter what it is. Live it. I don't condone alcoholism. That's not what the Beer Divas is about at all. It's about soaking up life. It's about having fun, meeting people, creating new relationships, having old friends talk about memories and, things from the past, and just having as much fun as possible. So let's get down to it. So get drunk. Always be drunk. That's it. The great imperative. In order not to feel time's horrid fardel bruise your shoulders, grinding you into the earth, get drunk and stay that way. On what? On beer, poetry, virtue, whatever, but get drunk. And if you sometimes happen to wake up on the porches of a palace, in the green grass of a ditch, in the dismal loneliness of your own room, your drunkenness gone or disappearing, you ask the wind, the wave, the star, the bird, the clock. Ask everything that flees, everything that groans or rolls or sings, everything that speaks. Ask what time it is. And the wind, the wave, the star, the bird, the clock will answer you. It's time to get drunk. Don't be martyred, slave of time. Get drunk, stay drunk on beer, virtue, poetry, whatever. Wow, let's drink to that one. Especially with us getting out of the COVID whole thing, the pandemic, we've got to start living our lives again. We have to start soaking up that human spirit, the spirit of adventure, the spirit of optimism, the spirit of love. There's been so many things going on in the world and so much negativity. We need to get drunk on life again. And of course, beer can help that, especially a great beer. But it's not just about that. It's about being free. It's about freedom of expression, of imagination, and of creativity. So let's all get together, grab a brewski, and toast to getting drunk on life.